Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Juno in the 12th house in a natal chart. Well, anyway, first thing is, as far as Juno in your 12th house in your natal chart, you may wind up needing or requiring that marriage partner, significant other, someone you have a committed relationship with that may play a strong role, figure prominently in your private life, somebody that you may want to spend a lot of time in seclusion and solitude with. If this is somebody that is really like super extroverted, gregarious, that wants to go out a lot, it might not be the person for you. Unless, of course, Juno is in a very extroverted sign like Leo, then of course that can modify things a little bit. And anyway, another thing is that this person, 12th house is the house connected with secret adversaries and enemies. So this could be someone that winds up becoming one. So it's just something to just factor in, take into consideration. This could be 12th houses corresponds with Pisces. So there might be a deceptive quality to this person in some cases, especially like say if Neptune makes an adverse aspect to Juno as an example, and if there's other contributing factors in the chart, such as like maybe Neptune in the 7th house of relationships. So this also could be somebody that you may wind up meeting perhaps in a hospital. A person might work in a hospital, might have been a patient there, maybe even in a prison in some isolated cases. And also that the marriage in some cases could be, this is the house of undoing, so it could be connected with the undoing. But also, too, on the positive side, this is the house of Pisces, so this could be somebody that could also be rather empathetic, compassionate, a person that might be enamored with helping those less fortunate, such as the impoverished, the homeless, and the hungry. This could also be somebody rather intuitive as well. Now, it could also be somebody that may have a 12th house profession. This could be somebody, for example, that might work in a hospital, an institution, even a prison, such as a guard in a prison. This could be somebody connected with the metaphysical, which could include astrology, somebody in spirituality, or somebody that works in illusion like special effects, or somebody also that might work, say, in videography, even somebody that might be prominent on YouTube in some cases, as an example. Somebody works in photography, such as, of course, as a photographer, as an example. Now, this could also be somebody, keep in mind the 12th house is about restrictions and limitations. So this could be a person that might maybe restrict or limit you to some degree, or might have some limitations and restrictions. It might be a debilitated person, or, for example, where you're giving a lot of time to and showing a lot of self-sacrifice to. Now, also, it could be somebody that might be married to something in a figurative sense in the 12th house, somebody that's married to the metaphysical, or like astrology, or a person married to solitude and seclusion. I have Juno in the 12th house in my natal chart. I'm very introverted. I think this has a little something to do with it. I'm almost married to my solitude and my seclusion. Now, this could be also somebody that could be rather empathic. Now, keep in mind, it's also important to look at the sign that Juno is in, as that could flavor this description. Now, let's say, I stated before, let's say Juno is in Leo in your 12th house in your natal chart. Well, you might have a person that might actually have Leo prominent in their chart. When I say prominent, of course, the sun, moon, or ascendant in Leo, or someone that might embody Leo-like characteristics. But at the same time, you could have somebody that could be somewhat gregarious and extrovert and very outgoing, but a person that might that has that side too, that has the need for that space and that privacy from time to time, or it could be somebody that likes to have their private parties with maybe not a lot of people there. So I think that's how, that could manifest. Now, another example, I'll take my chart for example. I have Aries and Juno in my 12th house. Now, this could attract somebody that's significant, or marriage partner, committed relationship, or what have you. It could be somebody that might be an Aries, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, might embody those Aries-like characteristics. Could be somebody that could be rather combative, fearless, have a lot of fortitude and courage, be very aggressive, but maybe just doesn't show that out to those qualities to a lot of people, and shows those qualities more in their private life. So those are some things to look at. And also it's important to look at aspects, if any, that are made to the Juno in the 12th house placement, as this could impact the description. Now, let's say, for example, that let's say you have Mars making an adverse aspect to your Juno in your 12th house. Well, this could be somebody that might perhaps deplete your energy to some degree. Keep in mind, 12th house placements can do that anyway by themselves. But if you have Mars making an adverse aspect to it, say a square, opposition, or even an inconjunct to your Juno in your 12th house, that could exacerbate that a little bit more, and that might really be somebody that could be draining really your energy, and you might be doing a lot of self-sacrificing for this person, and not really, and have your energy dissipated strongly as a result. Let's take another example. Let's say if Mars is making a positive aspect to your Juno in your 12th house. Let's say Mars is making a sextile or trying to it. Now, that could simply mean that the person that you marry, or perhaps that you need or require in marriage, that significant other, that one in the committed relationship, that could be somebody that might bring a lot of positive energy into something 12th house related, and do things using a lot of energy in something 12th house. It could be something connected with photography, videography, or maybe somebody that even helps you with something with the metaphysical or spiritual, and brings a lot of energy into that. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for Juno in the 12th house in your natal chart. And stay tuned next time, where I will be talking about Vesta in astrology, and then I'm going to start my series after that on Vesta in the zodiac signs. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.